Hallo, liebe Online-Freunde, willkommen zurück bei meinem Format Ich weiß, was du meinst. Diesmal mit dem Journalisten und Autor Jens Hoovsgaard. Ihr kennt ihn vielleicht, er ist euch vielleicht ein Begriff. Ich habe ihn nämlich schon oft zitiert und zwar aus seinem Buch über die Entführung und besonders die Hintergründe der Entführung der Blockkinder. Deswegen freue ich mich sehr, dass er heute hier ist, um mit mir über das Buch zu sprechen, über seine Arbeit generell zu sprechen und vor allem mit uns darüber zu sprechen, wie es ihm ergangen ist, seitdem er dieses Buch in Dänemark veröffentlicht hat. In Deutschland ist es ja leider noch nicht zugänglich. Sobald ihr das auf Deutsch erwerben könnt, werde ich euch einen Link in die Infobox senden. Jens, hello.
Hello, Nina. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too online, and thank you so much for being here and trying to shed light on the situation regarding the whole very public, very traumatic court case regarding the Block family, especially the children. So, about you, you are a very critical, acclaimed journalist and author in Denmark, but this would not be a common topic for you. You never wrote about custody battles and things like that. So, how did you came up with the idea to write a book about it?
Actually, it was, I have a lot of colleagues around the world, and a German colleague called me New Year's Day 2024 and asked me, do
Yeah.
you have some more information about what happened in Gråsten? And I answered, I don't know what's happened in Gråsten. Please tell me. And he told me about the the kidnapping of the two children, and I said the Danish media have not yet written anything about this, but for sure I'll check if I can find some background for you. Then I start to read the story, and I found out this is a criminal case. This is a
Yeah.
true crime story. I'm not doing true crime stories, so I'll just help my colleague in Germany with the information if I'm able to do that. But then I started to investigate a little more into it, because it is a little tempting to write about this whole affair, a rich family and things
Yeah.
like that. And when I wrote the articles, I got some picture of something like, I don't know if you know that TV series called Submission. No, seduction.
No.
No, it's not called that. It's true, but it's very good story, because there's the rich environment that you get a little peek into. Normally,
Yeah.
people do not know what's happening there and things like that. So I thought, yeah, I read a little more about it, and then I found out when I'm reading that story that actually there's a lot of things behind that
Yeah.
glamorous facade, and
Yeah.
there was some misunderstanding between Denmark and Germany according to the law, and Denmark has a special place in the European Union.
Yeah.
We are not member of all the legislation in the,
Yes.
and I could see that this is quite interesting. And then I talked to some people that knew about how it worked, and one of them told me this is because of the Danish regulation. Actually, Denmark is now a free haven paradise for
Yes.
parent kidnappers. They
Yes.
could live there without getting have to get prisoned, and
Yeah.
it's a paradise for kidnappers. I thought, wow, this is a very strong story. And then I started to collect evidence, and I was trying to find. First of all, I for sure, I called Christina Block and Stefan Hänsel and told them I'm planning to write a book about this story. Would you like to?
What was the reaction like?
Would you like to participate?
Yeah.
And Christina Block at the said, no, I cannot do that because there's a criminal case against me. I cannot talk about it. Then I talked to Stefan Hänsel's wife, the Danish wife, Astrid Haave, and she told me, "Oh, we have a lot of documentation about what's happening. You know, this is this rich family in Germany, and they do whatever they want, and they are harassing us all the time and things like that." And I said, "That sounds scary. Would you like to talk about it?" And she said, I will have to talk to our media advisors first. We have a
media advisors.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And a media lawyer. And then we could return with an answer.
Okay.
But she didn't. She didn't return. So I started to dig into the papers to find out how can I get all of the documents from that case, and I couldn't get it from Christina Block. I couldn't get it from Stefan Hänsel, so I had to talk to people around the persons and say, do you know anything about this? Or do you have access to anything? And I found some. I cannot reveal their names. That's a journalistic practice. But I got all the documents.
In Germany, we call it Quellenschutz.
Oh.
It means like you have to protect the source of the information. And that is the difference between you as a journalist and me as a blogger. You know, I'm very grateful to live in a country where I can articulate my point of view. And in Germany, we call it Meinungsfreiheit, but it's basically the freedom of speech. And I don't necessarily have insights into the documents. I read all the articles, I had some insights, and then, lucky me, I got your book. But I think what is really outstanding, and people should know, you're not like a normal, let's say it like this, journalist, but you also did some outstanding work on the Nord Stream case, if I might say so. And you are very good at get information that are very useful, at get deeper information, and not like the information that is already out in the media, because especially in this case, right now, Stefan Hänsel is accused of leaking court information to the media. So in this case, which is heartbreaking because it revolves around young children, there is already a lot of court information out in the media. And what I find so interesting, and what I would like to talk to you about, is the situation before the kidnapping, because this is the information that you might be able, you saw it, you saw the documents, you know about the history. So when you got access to the sources, to the documents, what was the most outstanding thing you found?
I found out that here we are talking about some people who is manipulating authorities, police, courts, public, everything. They are creating a narrative that only benefit themselves. And let me give you an example. A week, less than a month after Stefan Hänsel and Astrid Haave retained the children in Denmark, they signed them in a school here in Denmark, a German school, Förderschule. And they told the headmaster, there's a conflict between my husband and his ex-wife, and German courts has ruled that she's no longer having custody. And
Well,
she's not allowed to see the children. So please, if she looks up the children here at school, you'll have to say no, you are not allowed to do that.
protect the children. Yeah.
Fully. And telling them that she has lost custody and that she was not allowed to see the children was a directly lie. Because
Yes,
she had
indeed.
shared custody, and
Yeah.
she had what you in German call Aufenthaltsbestimmungsrecht,
Yes. Yes.
the right to decide
Yeah.
where the children should live
Yeah.
at that time. So it was a direct lie, and the headmaster, he was later on interviewed by the police, and he said the father told us another story than what's were actually the right thing. So he confirmed that this, and I have seen
Yeah.
also documentation about that they claimed that she lost custody. So that's one of the beginning, and when I saw that,
Yeah.
it's a more.
How is that possible, right?
Yeah, and it piled up all the letters from, especially from Astrid Haave. She's the driver of
Yeah.
this conflict here.
Yeah.
All her letters and meetings with the police and authorities are full of her own narrative.
Yes.
She's, let me give you another example. She's very often at the internet, Googling.
Everybody could sense that when she was in court testifying, because she even described this. Yeah.
Googling everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, she, you see, Christina Block, shortly after the detain in Denmark, she asked a private investigator in
Sure.
Hamburg to check up what's going on in Denmark. I would like to know about the children's well-being. And he observed the family for a week and then reported back. The children has now been signed into school here in Denmark. And
Yeah, sure.
that for sure tricked her, because she had the Aufenthaltsbestimmungsrecht. The children were signed into schools, 2 different schools in Hamburg, and she had not been asked if they would like to change the schools.
Yeah,
and
sure.
and then one day she and her fiancé Gerhard Delling, they drove to Denmark and to look up the children at the school, because this investigator has told them, and he joined them as well, he and a colleague. And when they arrived in the schoolyard, they met up the headmaster who said, "You're not allowed to be here." And she said, "Yes, I am. I'm allowed, because I have this and this documentation." And said, "No. We have heard different things from the father." And
well, that is very sorry to interrupt you, but this is something that is like a red line. We have heard something different from the father.
exactly.
It's a lot of he said, she said, we have heard. But
It's fun.
you just yeah, and you just spoke about a world of the super rich, unbeknownst to most of us. And there is another world unbeknownst to most of us, and that is this horrible court situation, tragedy between parents who are fighting for their kids, you know. And it's very well known and documented that it's like there are so many people who are going through this. And what the authorities in Germany always do to make sure to get the better picture, they ask, different people. For example, the school, the doctor of the children, and I'm sure you are aware of this, but I just wanted to point out, even you have the documents, right? But right now, they're starting to speak to the media, some of the people, even though they might be very afraid. But also the school in Germany, everybody testified, and there was like several rulings in Germany that everything was legit. And then imagine you're standing there as the mother, as Christina Block, and somebody says, no, no, we heard from the father, it's all not true. It's very hard to wrap my mind around this. But what happened after that? What was also some of the indicators that you were like, wow, the story is so much deeper. I have to make this public.
Yeah, I'll come back to that later because I've just finished that story from this.
Oh, sorry.
Course.
Yeah.
That private detective and his colleague attending them, Gerhard Delling and Christina Block in the schoolyard. Astrid Haave saw them, and she said,
Oh,
they are detectives. They are here to kidnap my children. And later she saw the same two guys or she saw two guys walking around in front of their house, and Astrid, she's recording. There's camera all over the house.
yes.
She's recording everything, and she's taking pictures of everyone who's coming close to the house. And she also took a lot of pictures of that guy, the two guys. She delivered them to the police and said, "This is the same guys that I saw in the schoolyard.
Yeah.
I have Googled them. They belong to a detective lens in Germany, and they are specialized in taking back children to their parents."
Sure.
Yeah, and actually, and she told I found out that they are from detective lens because I Googled it. And I found them on the net, and on the homepage of Detective Lens, there's a group picture of the people working at the agency. And at the first row, there's that guy, and the back row, there's this guy. And they are bought by Christina Block to kidnap our children. And she continued to tell that story until the court case started this summer.
Yeah.
But and I have letters. She say, we know that Christina Block has ordered Detective Lens to kidnap the children, and in the court we found out that Detective Lens has never had an agreement with Christina Block. It is another guy, and he testified in the court, and he told that I went to Denmark, I checked out the children and the well-being, and I found out they were attending a new school, and I told that. And then I followed Christina Block and Gerhard Delling to the school. That's all.
And up until this point, it's not illegal. It's definitely the right way to do so when your kids are taken away from you, to hire a professional to check out how are they doing.
Yeah, but she dramatized the situation and said,
yes,
no, we know that they are kidnapping, and we know that it's Christina Block, the rich lady, that has bought them to do that. So continue to telling that story, that version, and even and after the court hearing with the real detective, you don't hear anything from Astrid Haave or Stefan Hänsel. They don't say, "Oh, we are sorry, we have made a mistake. It was a wrong thing we have done." And but that story they made up had helped them.
Yes.
4 years to keep the children in Denmark. They are telling it in court. They are telling it to social authorities, and they are telling it to the
police,
and everyone believes them.
Yeah.
So okay, I made it. And
It's
you
it's
ask about why I continue to.
yeah, I mean, this is actually it's shocking. It's shocking, and I'm always wondering, why is everybody believing them? Because there are so many documents who prove they are lie, who are literally a proof this is a lie. They just went with it, and they just keep repeating the lie until a lie becomes truer and truer and truer to some people. This is a very, for me, I feel like it's a very common it's a very common behavior when you're trying to manipulate people to make your version like the overall truth, even if it's not. So I really wanted to point that out because it's very common for some kind of people to act this way. But what's not very common is that not one person said, stop it, stop it. We know otherwise, we know better. It's not true. How do you think they were able to get along so far with all of this?
Because they continue.
Yeah.
I would say it's a little like Donald Trump.
Yeah, very good example.
You
Yeah.
continue a lie
Mhm.
and just continue to tell the lie. At some time it will become truth, or people
Yeah.
will believe that it is the truth. And
Yeah.
exactly the same thing had happened there. And 2 days after the episode in the schoolyard, Astrid Haave went to the police station, the local police station in Sønderjylland, and asked for a restraining order against
Yes.
the children's mother, because
Which is
she told them
ridiculous.
she's stalking us, and she's sending detectives, spies, and all kind of people up to our house to investigate in how to be able to kidnap the children. And she at the police station she also said, and their mother, she has been reported to the German police for violating her children.
Wow.
That was correct, because the one who has reported her to the police was Astrid herself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking about Astrid, how, first of all, who owns the house they were living in at the time? Her? It was her house?
It has belonged to her family.
Aha.
Then they
Interesting.
bought
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. And she also has a son from previous relationship.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about this situation?
Yeah, I guess most of your viewers know what happened in the Christina Block case.
Yeah.
They claimed that she was violent, and that's why we are keeping the children here. And actually, she has a son as well.
Yeah.
He's now 18, but the background is that when he was 4 years old, Astrid left Denmark for Germany
Yeah.
with a new boyfriend, and let the young son back with his father. And
Yes.
grew up at his father's place and his new family. And I talked to people around that. They told me that he was a happy boy, and he was very good in school, and they lived in a rich suburb from
Mhm.
Copenhagen, and it was very, very, very good conditions. But for sure, he was lacking contact to a mother.
Yeah.
But he was almost never contacted by her. She had not attended in any consultations in school or anything like that, and she'd never asked him to go on a holiday. On the contrary, she has sent pictures to him showing her and his half sister on holiday. So after 10 years, when he was 14, in 2022, Astrid asked him suddenly, why don't you come here to us and stay for a summer vacation? And he was happy about that. My mother is reaching out, and he went down
Sure.
there for, they planned he should stay there for 3 weeks. And the father agreed as well. And that's good that now this
Finally.
dimension comes into my son's life, that there's some attention from his mother. And then when half of the vacation was over, the father in Copenhagen got contacted by the Familieretshus. It's the Jugendamt in Denmark, and they said, told him, your son has been in contact with us. He's telling that you are violent, not only to him, but also to his half brothers. And he's fearing you, and he will not return to you again. He asked to stay at his mother's place. Exactly a copy-paste of what happened to a year before to the two Block children.
Yeah.
For sure, he was shocked.
Yeah.
What is going on, and how come? And he tried to get in contact with the son, but also there the same thing happened as it happened for Christina Block and the friends of the two children in Denmark. When they tried to contact them with SMS or emails or phone calls, they were not answered. And he couldn't get in contact with the boy, and but he sent back short notice to his father, and he could see, this is not my son who has written.
Yeah,
this
very typical.
This is Astrid, because I have since my son started in school, I have helped him with his homework every day, and I know his language. I know his way to spell, and this is not him.
Yeah, sure.
So he was threatened by indirectly by Astrid that you should not contact me. That was the son. So it's when I heard that, I said, wow, this is quite a story.
It is. It is.
You were talking about that parental
alienation, yes.
Entfremdung.
Yeah.
And they are serial offenders.
Yes. Yeah, serial, literally, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still flabbergasted, although I knew about this. I also knew that the father of the boy spoke to the German Bild-Zeitung, this newspaper, and it was online for quite some time, but now it's gone. They removed the article. And from what I heard, I don't know if it's true, the father became scared because he saw what happened to Christina Block with all this media attention. And allegedly, he became scared it could destroy the rest of his life and his family life if he continues to speak up or out against this, about this. So have you any more information what happened to the family, to the father? He's not in contact with his son for years now also, right?
Actually, why the article was removed from was because Astrid brought it into court in Hamburg. And she told that the same story, that we are living in constantly fear Christina Block is stalking us. She's sending up detectives. We are now living in with other names and other places, secret places, and things like that. And by the way, that story about my son has nothing to do with the case of Christina Block, because I have never been involved in the Block case. It is my husband and Christina Block who is fighting. I am not involved.
Yes.
And that was, the court believed that lie. But
I know, it's crazy.
Documentation shows, as I said before, she is the driver of this. And that's why the court ruled and said to build, you will have to remove the article, and if you publish it again, it will cost you 200,000 euros.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is common. Yeah. For Bild. Yeah.
And for sure, I have been in contact with the father, asking him, please tell the story. It's very important.
Yes.
But
very.
But he is still hoping that he can get re-establish the connection to his son. So, and he knows that if he is going public and telling the story, Astrid will react immediately.
Yes,
and
she will
press her son to never talk to his father again.
Yeah.
So that's why. But I know it's correct what was written in Bild-Zeitung in the article.
Yes, it was.
I have talked to again to people around, and they have told me exactly what was going on.
Yeah,
it was Astrid, and she has been manipulating, and people knowing Astrid say she is a manipulator by heart.
By heart. I was also wondering, what was her profession? Because I only knew she came as an au pair, as a nanny to Germany. Did she? Because I was wondering, has she ever had any connections with the Danish authorities, maybe the school system? Because this motivation and it's a crazy amount of work that she's putting into everything she's doing, everything. Like when you're raising 5 little children, I'm only raising 1, and it's like very time consuming. How do you have all the time to Google, to infiltrate, to manipulate, to reach out to all these different people? It's more than a full-time job. So I was always wondering, what was her profession before? What enabled her to do all this? Do you have any information about?
I don't know what
her connection
done before, except that she has been au pair in Germany. But you know, Gråsten is a very small town. And the police in Gråsten, maybe some of them are old school friends.
Could be.
And at the town hall at the municipality, some people are befriended with Astrid, and they know each other. And this is that small
town stuff.
That's one of the reasons that she's so easily being able to telling the stories without other checked it up.
About her and telling stories, have you followed her testimony in German court? And was there anything where you were like shaking your head because it appeared to you as truly falsified?
I was mentioned in the court.
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
So that she was asked, have you read the documentation from the psychological talks with your children? And she said, no, this is too scary to read it, and I do not want to read it because it's terrible. But this Danish journalist who had written a book about the case, he had printed it in the full length in the book.
I read it. It's not true.
And
That's a lie. I read your book. It's not true.
yeah, I have been very careful not
Yes.
to do things like that, and I have not mentioned the children's name. I have not quoted them from anything
No.
because I do not want the children in
Absolutely.
years to read my book and say, "Oh, did I say that about our mother? Did
Yes, I know.
say that?"
You specifically made sure
Yeah.
at the beginning of the book that you won't do that.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
but you see, they are claiming now that
yes.
I've done that. That's a lie. But they
Yeah, it
actually
is.
do it themselves. In
Yeah.
courtroom, they are referring to the talks with the psychologist in newspapers, especially in the preferred newspaper, Die Zeit.
Yeah. Yes.
They are telling the journalist Anna Kunze
Yeah.
the private things. And another thing, I mentioned that in my book in February this year, their family lawyer, Gerd Uger, he made a public speaking at the university in Göttingen. And
Yes.
he told the audience that I am allowed from the father to tell about what the children has been telling the psychologist. And also he said that I also know I have read all the reports from the police, and there's no doubt Christina Block ordered the kidnapping at New Year's Eve.
Well, that is also a lie.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, we don't know. Maybe she did.
it could be, but he could be able to know this by that time.
Long-running court case in
Yeah, I know.
the moment.
It wouldn't be necessary if we all knew back then in February that she did it. So,
And actually, this is as a Dane, I see that way of running a court case. It's very strange because they are investigating. The police are investigating during the case. Here in Denmark, if you the prosecutor will raise a case, the police come to the prosecutor and said, "We have this and this. That's the findings here, and we would like to bring it to court." And
yeah,
the
same here.
prosecutor will
Yeah.
say, "Oh no, that's not the evidence are not strong enough, so you cannot do that. Go home
Yeah.
and work again, or
Yeah.
dismiss the case."
Yeah. It's the same procedure in Germany.
Yeah, but
It
not
is.
in this case.
I know. That's very strange.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Because
And it's
decided from the beginning we will have to detain Christina Block because that rich lady, she is taking the law in her own hands, and we cannot accept that.
yeah, that's the narrative that's running around for quite some time. And I also have to say, in general, not only regarding Christina Block, people in Germany tend to be very envious about rich people, and it's very common in Germany to have common misconceptions about rich people because it's a world we all don't truly know, and it appears strange in some ways, and people tend to feel a little bit envy about that. So this narrative, it really resonates with a lot of people in general. So it's smart to
making headlines. And
yes, it's making headlines. It's smart to choose that narrative.
That's why they are using that narrative
Yeah.
all the time. And
Yeah.
I will tell you a story. A week before my book was published in Denmark, a journalist from a very well-reputed German news magazine called me and said, "I am doing a pre-court article
Mhm.
and I heard about your book and your findings. Can I interview you about that? I said, for sure, I can do that. And he came to Denmark, and for 2 hours, I showed him proof of what Astrid Haave and Stefan Hänsel had done. Also, I showed some things that was from Christina Block that I said, this is not the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And he was not interested in listening to what has happened here in Denmark. On the contrary, he asked me, "Are you paid by the Block family?"
Yeah.
I laughed and said, "What
Like me,
do you
it's true.
think? I'm a journalist. Why should, and you are a journalist too on a very respected news magazine, and everyone who reads that knows that this is serious journalistic, and you
Yeah.
ask about this." And he said, "No, are you coupled? Are you in connection with a PR agency?" I said,
Wow.
"No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And you have never received money from anyone?" "No, it's all of my own cost." And
Yeah.
then he said, "We know that you are a friend of Peter Thiede from
Mhm.
Zeitung. Has he delivered documentation to you?" I said, "No. I'm friend with a lot of foreign journalists, and Peter Thiede, I befriended him back in 2019 when my book about Nord Stream came out
Yeah.
in Germany. He came here to Denmark to interview me. He attended the press meeting in Berlin, and I have had a contact with him. Last time we are helping with information, and last time he called me was because of when Donald Trump wanted to take over Greenland."
Yeah.
And he asked, "Do you have any connections there who could give interviews and things like that?" And for sure, I gave him, put him in contact with the people there. That's why we are helping each other cross border.
Yeah.
And no problems.
It's very
But he has seen on Facebook that Peter Thiede was one of my friends. So had
well.
Astrid Haave. My book was planned to come out in November 2024.
Yeah.
And when we published that, Astrid Haave sent an email to my publisher saying that we are very anxious about this book, and we have stopped another book before.
Gerhard Delling's
Yeah,
book, yeah.
book, yes. And she said, "We know we have a lot of documentation, and we are having all the investigation reports, and we know that Christina Block and the Block family have paid millions after millions in public relation litigation."
Wow, that's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she continued and said, "The author,
Mhm.
he has a German network, and with the people from Springer who are trying to making smear campaigns about us and the family,
Wow.
indicating
So the
that
same
I was a part
Mm.
of that, and indicating that I have received money from the family, which I have.
Yeah,
Sometimes
of course.
I should have become a PR manager instead of a journalist, because when
Yes.
I hear all the amounts that the Block family
I know.
paid, I said, "Wow, why didn't I change my job description?"
Yes. I'm also questioning my YouTube side hustle after hearing that. I mean, we laugh about it, but it's so, so serious.
Yeah.
It's the same tactic she's using all these years. And I mean, I have to say, the journalist who who reached out to you, it's not groundbreaking journalistic work to check who's befriended whom on Facebook or whatever social network, and it's very common and normal that journalists across borders are helping each other out. I mean, you can see the motivation behind it to really disregard your name, to really try to diminish your work. That's what it is when they try to stop a book from coming out.
It's full
And
that's what
hmm?
I'm explaining. My book is full of lies. It's false everything, and it's a book ordered by the Block family.
Ordered, yes.
And actually, another German colleague told me, a colleague who's covering the court case, told me that in the corridors, people are talking about that your book is financed by the Block family.
Yeah,
And
that's the lies they come up with.
She also gave me some names of who they are spreading the rumors, and one of them are the lawyer of Stefan Hänsel.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a very interesting lawyer. I did a video about him because I found it really fascinating that he went to have lunch with one of the people who used to work for Christina Block in trying to investigate what is going on with their children in Denmark, and also one of the witnesses. And I know the court was informed about this, but still, I personally found it very suspect to do that as a lawyer. And also the communication in the media, I would say, to me, it appears more like a actually PR strategy. That is what the lawyer is doing, and he can do that, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not making anything any better. And when you're a lawyer, especially involved with the rights and the well-being of little children, that's really not the way to behave. So in Germany, we have different lawyer for different topics, but lawyers who are in any way connected to the family court system, it's not like you're a media lawyer. It's not like you're in any other field of law, because it's about the lives of little children, and it's morally so wrong to do this. And I mean, even in my case, people, I found it very interesting because I noticed there are some accounts who are appearing again and again on my channel, and they always accusing me of being also paid by Christina Block. And the same accusations that you are facing. And I found yeah, I found it so bizarre, and I found it so obvious what they are doing, because as soon as a person, in my case, a blogger, in your case, a very professional, very serious journalist, says, "Hey, I'm sorry, but there's more to this story. Can we talk about this? Can we have a look at this?" They attacking you and spreading lies also about you and your work. And that's exactly what you, in the beginning of our conversation, what you were talking about with Astrid Haave and this dilemma that she's causing. But you also mentioned in your book, there's a homepage in Denmark, and I know also in other countries of this world, but especially in Denmark, as it is a haven for people who are planning to alienate children. What is the name of this homepage, and what can I learn?
So you last show that you were trying to find out the name.
Yes, I lost it because I'm speaking.
In Danish, it's called Mors Manual, Mama's
Yes.
Manual.
Mama's Manual. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
giving you a 5 steps introduction to how to get rid of your ex-partner and his right to have visitations with the children.
Yeah.
It's saying that create conflict, tell lies, and this is when I read that manual, I said, "Oh, this is what they have done in Gråsten, exactly."
Yes.
So it's a little scary. It is because even if it's called manual, they are writing. This could also be used by fathers.
Sure.
So it's crazy. I do not believe that they have managed to continue their stories without anyone checking them out.
Yes.
And
yes.
last, in May, the family court decided to take away total custody from Christina Block, and also the visitation right.
Yes.
That the visitation rights were no matter because she has never seen her children.
I know.
Stefan Hänsel and Astrid Haave, they have blocked every meeting between the mother and the children. But she was also taking away that right to see her children. So she will have to wait until they turn 18, and then maybe she could be able to see them. And she brought that to the appeal court here. And in last month, they ruled that the decision from the family court is what is going to become the reality.
Yeah. It's very, very tragic because so many people are chiming in and writing comments. This or something similar is happening to me, and I really don't know how I can explain to the authorities in Germany, mostly German, of course, because of my channel, that they are being manipulated. I tried and tried, and nobody can see that they are being manipulated, and it's so wrong because in Germany, it's absolute common sense that we have even cases of very abusive parents, may it be the father or the mother, and they still have they still have the right to see their children, but with a social worker by their side. So in Germany, it's always about there are some exceptions, of course, but it almost does not matter what happened. We need to make sure that these children have some form of contact, however that may look like, with both parents. There must be something very, very dramatic happening, and it must have been bulletproof, that it really went down to really stop one parent from ever seeing their children. That is it's normal in the family court system. And I know when people are watching it, they will write comments about it, because there are so many people who have this very bitter and heartbreaking reality. But in Christina Block's case, it's bizarre, because the German authorities, they all knew what was going on. There were social workers, there were a pediatrician, there were the school workers, and they all wrote this: Stefan Hänsel is a problem. The children are perfectly fine with their mother. We know what's going on. And everybody is ignoring that right now. And especially the authorities in Denmark. Do you know how that may be possible, that the authorities in Denmark are really not taking into consideration all the reportings from all the family court hearings in Germany?
I asked myself that question many times. But you see, we have the same right here in Denmark, that the children should be able to see both parents, even if, for instance, a father had killed their mother.
I know. Same here. It's
And I know that Christina Block in court one day said, "What is it I have done
I know.
that is so terrible? Drunks are able to see their children, murderers are able to see their children. I am not. What have I done?"
Yeah.
And
That is the right question.
that's
Yeah.
a very important to find an answer on that. And I can only say, this is when you look at Danish regulation, we have a praxis that if and that's also mentioned in Mama's Manual. Tell the authorities that their father is violent.
Yeah.
Tell them that he is not treating them well, and in worst case, he's exploiting them sexually.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why in Denmark the court look at if the children have stated, my mother has beaten us up and we are scared of her, then
We don't want to see her again. Yeah.
then they won't actually ask the police to go to Stefan Hänsel's house and bring out the children and bring them back to their mother, because
Sure.
we will take care of the children. And as long as we do not know if Christina Block is such a evil character and she's beating up the children, we will not let them. We will protect them here in Denmark.
Yeah.
And but you ask.
I understand this.
Don't you? Yeah. I think it's a very, very good way of thinking.
Yes.
But
it is.
But it has been misused.
Yeah, that's the problem.
When I lost it now, but
no, it's easy.
Yeah. It's even
I think
even if the German authorities, Jugendamt, the pediatrician, the school, and everyone has stated that there's absolutely no problem at the mother's home. On the contrary, we can see that the children are under pressure when they are visiting their father, and he's creating stories of fear. One of them, a diplompsycholog, visited them 3 times in Denmark. It was the family court who asked him to go there, and he said, when I arrived at the home, first I had to struggle with Stefan Hänsel. He would not let me in. He wouldn't accept me. But I was finally let in, and I met the family sitting around the kitchen table and playing and drawing, and it was all like a very, very idyllic situation. But within a few minutes, the daughter showed me her alarm button and said, if my mother come close, the police has said that within 13 minutes, they will be able to rescue us if she is trying.
From our mother. Yeah.
And Stefan Hänsel, he approved on that and said, yes, we are living in totally fear, and we are not moving outside without alarm buttons, and because Christina, my ex-wife, is harassing us all the time.
It's so crazy, because when people are saying the kids are traumatized now after the kidnapping, which in fact they must been, they have been traumatized way before. They have been traumatized by believing and thinking their own mother is so dangerous that they have to press an alarm button when they see her. So the trauma and the harm to the children, it has begun way before. Not to say that it's not traumatic what happened, it is, but I really can't wrap my mind around this, that people don't see that nobody is really asking questions like, is that beneficial to children to live this way? Like, how is that possible? They are not going to school at a time. They are not able to go outside. They have a button with them all the time because of exactly what? Because of exactly what? What happened that justifies this, except stories we have been hearing from the stepmother and the father? And that is actually absolutely crazy, if you ask me.
And she continued to tell the stories even in court. And
yeah.
She's confronting Christina Block in court and say,
yeah.
well, why don't you admit your guilt and excuse for the children?
I know.
Stefan Hänsel did that in a court meeting before.
Yeah.
And that's what they always think, indicating that it is her that has ordered the kidnapping. Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
Could be. Yeah, but it could be. The court will soon probably find out. But what these two are doing with the questions is really cruel. They are like really punishing the mother in front of our own eyes. And it's also it's very strange because it's not your job to tell us who is lying or what somebody is doing. It's the court's job. You can see that they're still trying to have control about the situation, over the situation and over the narrative. Like, as if she would say, yes, it was all my fault, as if anything would change for her, for the mother. They still would not let the children see the mother, especially after the kidnapping. And it's what I also found very strange. Let's go with this narrative. The mother is very brutal. Why? Why are the children not allowed to see grandma, grandfather, uncles, aunts, their best friends from school? That makes no sense, especially if you come to find out that the mother is dangerous and is harming the children. Especially then, you want to make sure that the rest of the family and the structure the children are in are really there to stabilize the children. So you want to make sure they still have their childhood best friends, they have contact to grandfather, grandmother, to stabilize these children. So it really all makes no sense.
If you were a concerned parent,
yes,
secure that they would not lose contact to that part of the family.
That's true.
But from the very beginning, Stefan Hänsel and Astrid Haave have blocked every contact.
Yeah. It's true, and I'm actually very I'm just awaiting the new trial against Astrid Haave and Stefan Hänsel, because there must have been a new trial. I'm just assuming they waiting with this trial to finish up this one, because there are people who are still in prison and they really have to speed this up. But I also was wondering the whole time, why didn't they start this case? Because the reporting, I think it started in like 4 years ago. There have been this reporting, hey, they kidnapped children from Germany. You have to do something against this. It was reported to the German law system in 2021, I assume. So, but they still waited and waited and waited and nothing happened.
They have a possible way. Shortly during the spring this year, documentation from the 30,000 pieces of paper documents were leaked from most probably the lawyers to Die Zeit. The journalist
again.
she could report a lot of things. And I think that's a strategic move from the Hänsel side, that now we are building up a case that pointing only solely on the mother and what she has been able to do. And when she published that article, she also said that I know from sources that a trial will come up soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then the spokesperson from it was not from the court, but from the public prosecutor's office. Said, no, it's not coming up soon because the investigation is still on. But then they leaked more information, and that way I guess they suddenly the prosecutor said, we will start the 3rd of July.
Yeah.
And that's why the other case has not been conducted before this kidnapping case. It is strategic, very, very well done from the Hänsel family and their lawyer.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I guess so.
Yeah, because you know what? Also, if the mother is imprisoned, which could easily be happening at the end of her criminal case, it actually does not matter how their case ends up, because when the mother is in prison, they can't really, where would the children be going if the other parents are also in prison? So like just the momentum of the case, like a kidnapping is like the overall case everybody is watching, and this is like some very serious thing that went down on New Year's Eve. It appears like whatever he did before, come on, you can't justify a kidnapping. Come on, a kidnapping is so bad. Let's overlook what happened before, because now we really have to rule on the kidnapping, especially with Israelis being involved, an international case. And so I definitely agree. It is very smart and strategic on his side. But when you look back on all the years, everything he has done is very smart and strategic. Also, the move to Denmark, which, as you said, or as we all come to know, it's a safe haven when you plan something like this. It just is. And most of the public...
One of her letters to the authority that our German family lawyer has recommended us to stay here in Denmark because we will have the best possibility to win the case if we keep the children here.
Yeah, well, it worked.
Yeah.
It definitely worked. Yeah. Wow. So any updates from your side on when your book can be published in Germany? Because I'm thinking so many people should read this book.
I don't know, because I have tried to I've been in contact with the German newspapers and told them about my research and said that I was willing to share my research with them and they could publish it free. And no, we will be accused of being only on the one part. And I said, is that not what you are doing at
it's very
time? And they said, no, we cannot do that because then we will face court cases and I guess the book publisher, are thinking the same way because first of all, they are claiming that my book is full of untruths. Then I am paid by one part and things like that. So I guess that's why publishers say no, we don't dare to publish the book. So at the moment, actually, I have no agreement with any publisher in Germany. But come.
Ja, well, if any, wenn einer hier zuschaut, dann bitte kontaktiert mich oder ich stelle den Kontakt sehr gerne her, weil I really think people should read this. And it's so interesting because as I read your book, it's not a one-sided book. As you said, you're also pointing out what Christina Block did that was not beneficial or not helpful. You also really look into the Block family, and you also have a look at the father, Eugen Block. It's really not a one-sided book. That's the crazy thing about it. It's a book about what went down before, and that is very important to know.
Yeah, when people are claiming that I'm partial and that I'm paid by the Block family, I am answering them and saying that do you really believe that they pay me money for telling the stories about what happened inside the Block family?
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's embarrassing for them. And as I read it, I can definitely confirm that you have a very, very general look at the whole situation. And also, let's say, it's really not helpful to pay for a book that is then not published. So if you would pay for a book, you would pay so much money that you would make sure your lawyers are really fighting that this book is online and is available for people to read. So with the German media, I have what I was thinking. I don't know if it's true, but the stories they are running with right now are very good when it comes to clicks, and they're really helping with the sales. Yeah, and it has come to a point with the German media in general where they really have a problem with social media and the paywalls, and they really need to make sure people are paying for their content. I think it's really not good for journalism in general, but it is the way it is now. So I noticed the Bild because they have seen a lot.
Clickbait is ruling.
Yeah, clickbait is ruling. You said it best. So right now, what is definitely clicking is this narrative. I can guarantee you, I would really bet on this. As soon as this narrative is not clicking anymore, there will be more articles about, hey, what really went down? Hey, what happened before? But right now, the narrative is very strong. The images from court are very strong, and the public really has no remorse for a very wealthy woman like Christina Block. It's very sad to say this because it does not matter how you look like, how much money you have. We should all really just focus on the situation and if it's right or wrong. But right now, I don't see a change in the reporting, to be honest with you.
Nor do I.
Yeah, yeah. I know the Bild because I've been watching their their reporting for quite some time. And in the beginning, they started to report very pro Christina Block. If there is anybody you could accuse of being paid by Christina Block, then it would be the Bild, to be honest, because in the beginning they did the interview with the father of Astrid Haave's son. They really would ask all the questions like, how could this happening? What has she ever done to deserve this? But now it changed. The narrative changed. So I think it's so important that we shed light on the situation from a different perspective.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Yes. So Yes, thank you so much for your work, first of all, for your time, for your patience. I will upload this interview on my channel and now I have to switch back to German. An alle, die zugeschaut haben, vielen lieben Dank, dass ihr euch dieses Interview angeschaut habt. Ich bitte um Verständnis für eventuelle Sprachbarrieren, weil Englisch ja von uns beiden nicht die Muttersprache ist. Ich werde euch informieren, sobald dieses Buch irgendwie zugänglich ist, ob es online ist, ob es auf Deutsch ist. Und ich bin sehr gespannt, von euch in den Kommentaren zu hören und sehe euch dann ganz bald wieder.
Auch, ja. Bis nächstes Mal.
Yeah, by the way, your German is actually quite good. It's much better than my English, but so 1 second.